You're listening to Linked AM. Tell your story on Linked Live and get noticed.
Good morning, everyone.
You're listening to Carl Wolfenden on the Business Class Show and is not always affiliated with the guests and the topics discussed. Any financial statements are the opinions of the individual, and you should seek professional advice before making any decisions. Upgrade your listening to Business Class, the show that puts you in the big leather comfy seats. So sit back and enjoy our take on the trending business issues of the week.
Howdy, folks. Here he is, the Texas Brit, the guy with the stiff upper lip, filling his 10-gallon hat and his cowboy boots, Carl Wolfenden.
Good morning, and thanks for joining me again on Linked AM here on Business Class News. We're excited about a couple of things. About the next guest that we're going to be having on the show. Which I'll introduce in a second. But secondly, about the actual upcoming launch of our travel section on Business Class News, where we're going to focus on destinations and meetings and events, so that you, the CEOs and all the executives out there, you can see all these fabulous places that you can actually have a meeting at, and all those facilities. And we're going to be showcasing some of those. And in our travels, as they say, we came across a fabulous company over in France, and it's called PXCom Onboard Digital Media. And I did a little bit of research about these guys, and as you most probably know, as you followed the show, I did a lot of traveling, international traveling last year. Going across the pond, as they say, because, we're based here in Dallas, but I'm from England. And so I did a lot of international traveling backwards and forwards on a couple of projects and some personal family stuff. I must say, 14 hours of sitting on a plane can sometimes be a little bit tedious. We've got the films and things like that, but I'd love to do a little bit more. And when I found out what PXCom is actually doing, I reached out to the CEO, Cyril JEAN, and he's going to be a guest on our show. So without any more waffle from me, I'm going to hand it over to Cyril. And thanks, Cyril, for joining me on the show this morning. And appreciate you. It's afternoon over there, isn't it? It's early in the morning here.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Thank you very much, Carl, for this very impressive introduction. And yes, actually, in Bordeaux, it is the afternoon.
I love Bordeaux. I love your wine. I used to come across on the ferry all the time, and I used to live down in Salisbury and come and get all the wine and cheeses. And I miss that, I must admit. We've got a good selection here in Dallas, but it's not as good as France, I must admit. So I'm very, very excited, as you've just heard, about this conversation that we're having, because it looks like you have a solution, and you're in quite a few airlines. You're in Air Canada, China Airlines, I see, and you're growing. I mean, tell me more about the solution.
Oh, yes, absolutely. We're currently flying over 15 plus airlines, and our belief is that the passengers, especially on the long haul, once they have watched one film or two, 80% of them is taking their paper destination content and starts to immerse himself or herself in its destination and trying to pick up the different activities and points of interest that will enlighten their journey at destination. And this is this exact moment that we want to capture by our solution. So we provide interactive destination content, which is natively integrated on the IFE platform, the in-flight entertainment platforms. So besides the films, the games, and the audio, passenger can browse the destination, the interactive destination guide they are heading to, and start to discover either the airline selection or our travel guide editor selection, and select their points of interest and activities. And even sometimes they can retrieve that on their mobile phone when they are arrived at destination.
So are you saying that you can start the experience on board, and then continue it after you get off the plane when you de-embark, and then continue that experience?
Yes, absolutely. In some cases, especially on the short and medium haul flights, which are Wi-Fi IFE based, passenger can access this content through their own smartphone, and they can download PDF or discount coupons, or also so they can pursue the experience and have some takeaway directly located on their smartphones.
So a lot of cases, as we just said, and you just said it, that you've got a captured audience. You've got a captured audience up in the air, and I'm on a business trip or a pleasure trip or whatever, and you're right, I want to find out what's going to be at the other end when I land, and how can I maximize the time, that 14 hours, 12 hours, whatever it is, even the short haul experience. If you're going on a business meeting, what's on the other side of the trip, other than the meeting that I'm going to have, so how do you interact with, say, the destination, the hotels? Do you have those as partners and advertisers on the platform?
Yes, absolutely. But it is the choice of the airline, actually, because some airlines want to provide only a passenger's experience and provide their passengers with their hand-picked selection of points of interest and activities. But most of the airlines are interested in having both this new passenger's experience and an ancillary generation opportunity. So in those cases, we source and we provide the local tourism players with this opportunity to be at the forefront of this captive audience, willing to spend time and spend their money at their property.
So that's a very important thing, because I think a lot of lost dollars in tourism is when somebody just goes straight from the airport straight to the hotel, and then just do activities at the hotel, or they the concierge says, well, go over here. But if you do the pre-research, because I love doing that, I love finding out, okay, where else can I go when I arrive? What can I do? I've got a 4-hour window of opportunity. And it's lunchtime. I want to go and experience a great restaurant. And so that's a great opportunity to serve up that content to somebody that's already traveling to that destination.
Yes, absolutely. And this is why it is a balance to be found between what the airline wants to provide, especially their business travel as an experience, and the expected ancillaries. But this is this very moment that we capped throughout our solution.
So,
because, yeah,
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Because we've got the perfect audience. The audience is captive, the audience is willing to spend money, and the audience do not want to waste time at destination, especially when you are a business travel. I'm sure that you know that Blazer is rapidly expanding, and well, business travelers don't have the time to prepare their extra time at destination. So this is this very moment that on which they can discover what to do and where to go and what to where to eat and so on and so on.
So I'm looking behind you. You got a great backdrop there, and it says 100% cost-effective solution for airlines. I mean, so what is the benefit to an airline to have your technology on board?
Well, there are multiple benefits because, first of all, it's if I won't go deep inside the technology, but it is a patented technology that we have developed. This means that all the content are created and managed once on our back office. And then regardless of the IFE platform that the airline have, it is automatically updated. Either it is a seatback screen or Wi-Fi IFE or so. So this is a technical breakout, very important. This is why the airlines start earning money. And well, not spending too much money, let's say it like that. And then, as I said, it is both elevating the passengers' experience, providing their passengers with new kind of experiences, besides the usual thousands of hours of movies. Then our content, destination content, interactive content can be a good alternative for a new passengers experience. And also it is an ancillary generator for the airline. It is definitely an ancillary generator for the airlines, because even if there is no advertising, we can consider that thanks to connectivity, which is rapidly expanding on the aircraft, we extend this experience into ticket selling and also ticket booking, car rental, airport transportation. All that kind of destination service can be now provided within a single destination content destination section on the IFE.
Well, that's fabulous. And so what I'm hearing also there is it's an extension to the loyalty to the airline as well, because it's, you know, they have all these loyalty points and things like that, and but really it's how do you engage with that traveler with relevant content. I mean, we've talked about this on the show for years now about how it's important to serve up relevant information and relevant content to a captured audience, and you're doing it in a plane that they can't go very far unless to the restroom and walk down the aisle. So then you've got your device there.
Yes, Carl, you are absolutely right, and the future is really bright because thanks to new technologies, we will soon have access to the passengers manifesto, and also thanks to that, to all the backlog of the passengers, so that the airline can provide us with the taste of the passenger, what they like, what they don't like, and so on and so on. So in consequence, we can adjust dynamically the content and present to the passenger a more personalized content. Let's say maybe you like jazz clubs. If the airline is able to send us this kind of information, then we will present you at the forefront the local jazz experiences.
Wow! So you're really, you're creating a profile, and me as a passenger, I travel on Air Canada on a regular basis, and every time I get on the plane, I'm going to get what I'm looking for as such. That's excellent. So the time's coming to a close now, but I really wanted to touch on the fact that you are going to be at some of the travel shows. I think your colleague Pierre Labrise is going to be over at is it? I'm not sure. Is it the?
It's in Berlin.
It's in Berlin. Thank you.
There it is. Berlin next week. Yes, absolutely. And he's got a couple of meetings with some travel stakeholders. But of course, if people within your audience is interested in meeting him at the ITB in Berlin, he will be more than happy to meet him.
Fantastic. That's on the 7th and the 8th of March, I believe. And then of course, you're going to be at the biggest travel show, I believe, in April. Is that right?
Well, yeah. Next week it is the biggest travel show for the travel industry, and it is located in Berlin. And in April, it is one of the biggest aircraft interiors expo.
Got you.
And here it is more related with the passengers' experience. And the attendees of this kind of expo are mainly airlines. And as an airline supplier, we will obviously be exhibiting.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I tell you what, check PXCom out when you're at these expos if you're there. And also, we're going to put all the links on our website as well for the viewers to actually check you out and contact you. And you got a great video on that website that explains a little bit more about how it works and all that good stuff. So as we mature our travel section, I'm sure you're going to be a regular contributor. I'd love to have you back on the show and talk about other innovative things that you're doing over at PXCom and the onboard digital media platform you've got.
It will be our pleasure. It will be our pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cyril. I appreciate it. Well, thanks for that, and thanks for Cyril joining me today. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be, as I said earlier, putting out all the information on the on Business Class News, and I'll put out a link on LinkedIn and also on Facebook. And don't forget to join our LinkedIn group, Business Class News, and also on Facebook as well. We have a group out there, but if you go and search Business Class News, you'll find us. So thanks a lot for joining me this morning. It's been a pleasure, always connecting conversations and great people that we want to get to know better. Thanks so much, and see you next time.
You're listening to Linked AM. Tell your story on Linked Live and get noticed.
Good morning, everyone.
You're listening to Carl Wolfenden on the Business Class Show and is not always affiliated with the guests and the topics discussed. Any financial statements are the opinions of the individual, and you should seek professional advice before making any decisions. Upgrade your listening to Business Class, the show that puts you in the big leather comfy seats. So sit back and enjoy our take on the trending business issues of the week.